How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I figured this would be a fun little thing to do because the story's still kind of in its infancy. It's only 26 chapters so far. I feel like we have a long ways to go. And this is something we can come back to at chapter 50, chapter 100, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, whenever the hell we want to do it. Or if there's some big changes or whatever the hell we want to come back to, we can come back and do this again. So I figured this would be a good time to just get my bases down on where I'm putting everybody from bottom to top, yada yada, middle, who I don't like, who I do like. There's honestly not anybody in this series that I just don't like right now. So far, every character has been either just kind of like meh, fine, they're there, or they've been great. So without further ado, obviously I'm gonna go from worst to best. I don't understand why anybody there start with best and then go to worst. Like, no. Not gonna happen. Doing worst to best. That's how you do it, okay? Now, number 11? Yeah, because we don't really have a whole lot of really named characters in the series. Aoi Kaguragi. I guess that's how you say his first name. I really don't know. I'm just gonna call him Kaguragi. He's the kind of stoic, like, SWAT dude, all muscular and stuff. Just haven't really gotten a lot out of him because he's that kind of stoic, quiet character that doesn't really say a whole lot. He doesn't have that super vibrant personality that puts him in the spotlight or has him speak up to say his mind. And when I have characters like that, if they do something extremely badass that puts them into the spotlight because of how powerful they are, then that puts that stoic character up a few notches. But just being stoic, and while yes, he is strong, I'm pretty sure he was the strongest recruit outside of Shinomiya. He's getting outshined by Shinomiya, who does have a vibrant personality that puts her in the spotlight even more than her immense strength. So thanks to Shinomiya being so far above him, it just makes his character fall kind of flat for me. But that's okay because he gets to work with number 10, Haruichi Izumo, who, while a little more vibrant in his personality than Aoi, or Kaguragi, I guess that's why I said I was going to call him, still haven't gotten a whole lot from him. And now I assume these two characters will get a little bit more of a spotlight to come in later chapters or later arcs. I don't feel like they're just always going to be these two guys off in the back just doing their own thing. But yeah, he kind of falls into that same category, but I mean, he was behind two people because I believe it was Shinomiya, Kaguragi, Izumo, Furuhashi, then Reno, and then obviously Kafka at the bottom when we first got all the recruits together. They first got all their power levels and all that stuff. I believe that was the ranking from strongest to weakest, so if you have Haruichi down here below Kaguragi and he's not doing a whole lot more than him personality-wise, he's just kind of got that confident. I mean, he's probably the football captain in high school. Like, that's just kind of the dude you're looking at. So he's kind of up there, but like I said, it's nice to have the two of them kind of bounce off each other because they both haven't had a ton of spotlight, and they were both the top two right behind Shinomiya. So yeah, I look for them to make stronger cases in the future, but right now they just haven't had a whole lot, and that's really not their fault. Just haven't had a lot of time to get to everybody. But with that being said, we're moving on to number 9, and quite fittingly, it is Kaiju number 9. Yes, I am putting villains on this tier list. Tier list? It's not a tier list, it's a ranking. Anyway, I'm not doing every Kaiju we've seen. It's not like, okay, big mushroom Kaiju that Mina fought. But the mainstay guys, Kaiju number 9, Kaiju number 10, the big guys that are real enemies. Those will be on the list. And Kaiju number 9, we're going to see him again, obviously. He got away. I love the shape-shifting abilities that I've seen from him. Just more and more finger pistols. Love it. I mean, I love One Piece, so what was it? Shigan? Finger pistol? Rokushiki technique? I love it. This is an actual finger pistol. But yeah, I like his design. I don't know why. I like that like flat disc on top of his head. It's just strange, and he's humanoid, but it makes him look so not human, just having that weird ass looking head. And he seems very sadistic, and I also like the fact that he is making an effort to take a human's appearance to blend in with humans to then get good opportunities to attack people. I like that. It's not just Rampage Kaiju. He's actually deceptive with things, and that's something you don't always see when you think, or don't always think about when you hear the word Kaiju. So that's why he's going up there above Kaguragi and Izumo, just because he's fun. He looks fun, and he's different from what you think when you think of Kaiju. So, next, finally got this character's name recently. Well, I didn't wait till the end of the video to hit something this time. Oh well, screw it. Anyway, Okanogi, that science girl that's always communicating back and forth with like Hoshina and Mina and all of them. The reason I actually have her above Kaiju number 9 is because I just really like her personality bouncing off Hoshina, because she seems to take her job very seriously. She's obviously probably very passionate about science to get to this high of a level of position. This isn't no high school science teacher. This girl's smart. She knows what she's doing. But she likes to yell at Hoshino when he's not taking things seriously, even though he should be. And I've talked many times about how much I like Hoshino, so he's going to be higher up on the list. So, yeah, anybody that interacts with Hoshina, that's going to move you up a little bit. So, yeah, she kind of has a little bit, she's kind of riding on some coattails up past Kaiju number 9, but hey, we'll take it. I'm glad we got her name before I made this. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on this list at all, because I'm not doing people who I don't have names for. Anyway, next one is Kaiju number 10. I would move him up a little bit further if I knew this wasn't going to be the last time we see him. If he had a Kaiju number 9 situation and I was making this after he possibly got away and we expected to see him again. Not that I expect him to get away. I expect Kaiju number 10 to die. Just because we've already had one high-level Kaiju get away, I don't want to see another high-level Kaiju get away. I don't want us to get down the road and like shit, the last 5 high-level Dai Kaiju we've seen have all gotten away. I want to see some of these guys. Alright, and so I don't expect to see him again, but just his initial appearance and how much fun it has been to have him on panel, especially going up against Hoshina, yeah, he's getting up here because it's been awesome. And just, I mean, Hoshina talking about him last chapter and about how he just loves to fight. He has more emotion than a normal Kaiju. Like, he is loving this. And he's even talking about it. He's like, not many people can scrap with me. This is fun, and I'm going to love feeding on you. So, just his sheer presence and just the force of nature that he is was able to boost him up here, because I've said it before, I got Dum Dum Brain up here. Ain't a lot going on. So, you give me boom boom power, Dum Dum Brain like that. So, yeah, he's getting up to number 7 just because of sheer boom boom power. I never said I was above that. Anyway, next one, Furuhashi. So, you can tell who the last 5 are. I feel like a lot of people will have a lot of these people in their top 5s, at least for now, because I feel like they've been more of the main focus of the series. But Furuhashi's getting up there because of all the interaction he had with Reno recently. The fact that at first he was really just extremely cocky, and he did not like the fact that he saw Reno getting so much growth while he started above Reno and wasn't growing as fast from his starting point. But after seeing them try to fight off, was that Kaiju number 9 they were fighting? No. Okay, yes, it was number 9. I was right. I second guessed myself so bad on that. I really made myself doubt that I remembered who they were fighting. But yeah, so watching him and Reno fight number 9 really made me enjoy Furuhashi a lot more, because he seemed like a very selfish person at first, but during that fight, he was very selfish. He did want to help Reno. He didn't want to be useless. So yeah, he has gone up there a lot, and now that him and Reno seem to kind of be a duo, and Reno being one of our main characters, one of the first people we saw really interact with our actual main character, that's going to give Furuhashi a lot more spotlight. He's going to have a lot more time to shine, and I feel like he's going to go up there on a lot of people's list because he also has a unique aesthetic appeal. He has those spiky, sharp anime teeth. That's always fun. I don't remember the last time I've had a character in an anime that I watch or a manga that I read have spiky anime teeth and then be a character that I'm just like, nah, I don't like them. Maybe if they're a bad guy, but most good guys, they usually end up being fun characters. But with that being said, that's enough on Furuhashi. Like I said, this isn't a super in-depth video. This is covering the bases early on in the story. And finally, moving on to the top 5, I can almost guarantee that everybody has at least a couple of these people in their top 5 right now. If not, then they really like secondary characters. Because these are basically the 5 main characters of the story. And, well, I'm basic. Early on in a story, more often than not, the main characters are going to be my favorite. That's also due to how much time they have, or just the presence they bring with themselves. And number 5 is the latter. The presence they bring with themselves is why I like them so much. And of course, I'm talking about the big head, honcho lady, Mina Ashiro, captain of the 3rd Division. My God, did you see that giant gun and that giant hole she left in that mushroom kaiju? Woo, buddy! And see her hopping out of the bath in like chapter 1. I mean, that's not gonna hurt. But man, blowing that kaiju apart. And well, hell, in chapter 1 we saw her blow apart a, what, like 6.4 Fortitude kaiju or something like that? It was like 42, no, I think it was just Fortitude level 6. I think was the one in the first chapter. I think 6.4 was that one in the training area. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Literally, this lady is the benchmark in the series for badass. For badass. Like, we got Shinomai, who's a badass. We got Kafka, who's a badass. You got Mina, who's a bad mother. Anyway, that gets her to number 5. And she's Kafka's childhood friend. We've seen her kind of get that smirk loose a little bit when talking about Kafka or thinking about him in the past. So we know, to me, it's going to be fun to see her open up to Kafka more as Kafka gets closer and closer trying to reach her, and how that's going to be affected when the eventual truth does come out. So her character, for me, I like it more for what will happen in the future and the journey that we're going to go on to get to that point when it relates to her and Kafka, obviously, the main character. So once again, she kind of gets to ride the coattails a little bit of the main character, but that's fine. I don't care. I'm not above that. Life's not fair. Not everybody gets to ride coattails. Deal with it. Anyway, number 4, Reno Ichikawa. He was number 3 up until very recently because, well, he's the second main character and he is the person. So, since Kafka doesn't really have growth at the moment, he hasn't really increased his battle power through his suit. That thing's still basically useless. He hasn't gotten, as far as we know, he hasn't gotten that much stronger in his kaiju form from when he first got it. I'm sure he's more adept with using it. He's better at fighting with it than when he first got it, I'm sure. But there hasn't been a lot of visual growth for Kafka because he just randomly went from couldn't make it into the force to one of the most overpowered characters we've seen in the series. It's hard to do growth when you go from bottom of the barrel to like tippity top. So Reno kind of fills that gap. We've seen him start as the weaker of the 4, 5, 6 recruits, whatever, that joined the force outside of Kafka in human form. Obviously, he's stronger than Kafka in human form. He can actually use his suit. But with that being said, he's growing the fastest. So we've seen the most growth out of him going from the weakest to now in the most recent chapter being Shinomiya's backup. Anyway, moving on to the next one. That's enough about Reno. Keep saying it. This is short, not serious. Trust me, these videos will get longer the more often we do them. Anyway, number 3 just took this spot from Reno. And yeah, you know it. It's Mini Mina. It's Kiko Rushino Maya. It's Axe Girl herself. Oh my god, that axe is amazing. I talked about deathballing her through the kaiju, and she just did that on her own. Literally, how many has she one-shot so far? She one-shot 3 kaiju completely on her own. 2 from last chapter, 1 from the chapter before, and then she one-shot another one that has its wings iced over from Reno, which didn't actually damage it, it just stopped it from flying. She still did all of the damage to one-shot it by herself. So effectively, she has a one-shot 4 kaiju in a row now, and these are not like 3.2 fortitude Yoju. No, these are considered high-level kaiju, and she is just smacking the absolute hell out of them. My god, it is wonderful. And honestly, Shino Maya was pretty high up on the list before this anyway. This just gave her the little boost to get into top 3 because I enjoyed seeing that little bit of backstory about her and how hard her dad has been on her. I'm assuming her dad is like the commander of the defense force, or he's something up there pretty high. We saw Reno's reaction when he heard her last name for the first time, Shino Maya. He said, Shino Maya? So it's a big deal, and she's had a ton of pressure on her. Even being the best at everything as a child, she was not given any praise. She was told that is expected. So seeing her fight against that big-ass horn kaiju, and literally watching her fight until she can't even grab her weapon anymore because both arms are just broken. She's bloodied, battered, one arm broken. As long as I can still hold this gun, I can still fight. Looks down, that one's gone too. And she doesn't get scared. She's just kind of disappointed. Like, that's some tough shit, man. Like, Shino Maya is tough as hell. If you ask me the toughest characters in the series, Shino Maya is up there. She's, my god, she's a hell of a lot tougher than Kafka is. My Jesus Lord. You telling me Kafka in human form? Nah. Sorry, buddy. You main character and all, and you got the kaiju form, and I think powerful as hell, but man, that little girl tough. She tough, man. You gotta love it. And she knows Kafka's secret. She hasn't told the defense force about Kafka. That speaks a lot to her character, that after Kafka saving her life like that and telling her that she needs to focus on herself as a priority and her safety, like, that kind of touched her a little bit, and it shows her character that she doesn't just go, no, he's a kaiju, he has to be turned in. She's deeper than that. She's more than that. So I like Shino Maya a lot. She could even move higher up on the list depending on how the series keeps going. But I doubt I would ever see her dropping out of the top 5. After how she started out, she's been absolutely great. And number 2, the main man himself, Kafka Hebino. Obviously, you know who number 1 is by now. After I've said this, we'll get to that in a little bit. But he's the main character. Come on, he has the kaiju powers. He's relatable because a lot of us have been reading manga and watching anime for a long time now. We're starting to get a little bit older. Obviously, a lot of us are still young, but to a lot of us who have been around for a long time, he's relatable. Not all of us have gone on to have the dreams we had when we were a child fulfilled, like Mina did, having that dream to become a leader in the defense force and strong enough to fight kaiju. He's not that. He's not the average anime protagonist who is young and idealistic and accomplishes those goals pretty much first try. No, he's tried a lot, and he's failed a lot, and he's given up, and he's come back, and it's relatable, and it's refreshing to see somebody like that. But he's also still fun to be around. He didn't let those failures get him down. He still has a fun personality. He still enjoys being around the people he cares about, like a lot of us. Just because you didn't become a marine biologist doesn't mean you're just this jaded adult. Like, you can still have fun. You can still be fun to be around. Because, I mean, we saw Kafka at the beginning. He had Corona all over his apartment. The beer, Corona, the beer. And instant ramen laying all over the place. All right. Oh, God. I hate that word now. Anyway. But he wasn't necessarily a happy person, but he's still fun to watch. He's still fun to see. And then you top it off with, I mean, look at Kaiju number 8. First Kaiju he really fought in that form, he turned into actual red mist. I've mentioned that a couple times, and I'm going to keep mentioning it. Literally turned it into rain. He made it rain with no money. Dude broke, still making it rain. That's nuts. And jumping in to save Shinomiya and Reno and Furuhashi and all the fights we've had, and his fight with Hoshina. Oh my god. Moving on to Hoshina. Number 1, baby. Here we go. That's it. I don't need no list no more. We got one left, and he's number 1 tippity top. Sorry, Kafka. I jumped off you real quick and got into number 1. I don't care. It's Hoshina. He deserves all the spotlight. He's a badass. He's funny. I love it. I can't get enough of him. I can't do it. I can't do it. We got him fighting Kaiju number 10 next time. I can't wait for that. Oh my god. But I love him. I love how intuitive he is. I love, obviously, how powerful he is. I love his fighting style. I mean, I love things like Bleach, and I love Zoro from One Piece. I love anime fighting with swords. It's always great. One of my favorite things with Hoshina so far, him telling, I can't remember if he was talking to Kafka when he said this or not, but he said, man, if I just used that other technique, I would have killed him. Talking about Kafka. Literally, he would have killed our main character if he just decided to use a different technique, or if he wasn't trying to feel Kaiju number 8 out while he was fighting him. If Hoshina would have gone all out, he easily would have annihilated our main character, and the story would be done. Or we would just be following around Hoshina and Mina, which I'd be fine with. But he's powerful, and he's one of those characters where he's powerful enough to where he doesn't have to take every situation seriously. He can smile and laugh and kind of diffuse the situation a little bit. I loved when Kafka was going through the test to become a recruit. This guy, he's just laughing his ass off. I mean, they're going through the power levels that are coming out, and Kafka gets 0. Hoshina can't even hold it in. He's like dying, just laughing at this guy. And he literally wanted Kafka to become a recruit just because he was funny. And because he wants to keep an eye on him. Because, like I said, he's intuitive. He's smart. When he was fighting Kaiju number 8, it wasn't just, okay, I have to eliminate this Kaiju. No, he noticed that he acted differently. He noticed that he acted more human than most Kaiju would. That he was on the defensive. He wasn't trying to fight back as much as a normal Kaiju would. And he can see the big picture behind the scenes forming. And I'm loving watching him put the pieces together while we just get more and more pieces thrown at us by the author. So he's been so much fun. And I mean, what more do I have to say? This last chapter, the way it ended, getting a full haymaker from Kaiju number 10, giving Okanogi a heart attack, making her think he's probably dead, and then bam, Kaiju number 10 arm just falls off. I can't wait. He's so much fun. Having him on panel, it's either tense or fun or action-packed. There's never a disappointing or dull moment with Hoshina, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see more of him. If he keeps up this kind of pace, especially what with I'm hoping to see in the next chapter or two, he might be slowly moving up my all-time rankings little by little. Especially depending on how long this series goes on. Who knows? He might break top 10 all time. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. But he might do it. You never know. Anyway, I've had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Leave some comments down below. Let me know your list. Let me know how dumb I am for having the 5 basically main characters as my top 5. Tell me how basic I am for that. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe. It helps out a ton. I'm going to be making plenty of more Kaiju number 8 content, plenty more Phantom Seer content. Probably talking about One Piece, maybe some Jujutsu Kaisen, all kinds of things. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I got a suggestion on one of my videos not long ago, and I still need to check it out. It was a suggestion about something kind of similar to Phantom Seer. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I couldn't find that comment to let the guy know that I'm going to check that out. So if you see this, I'm checking that out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to let you get to the rest of your day. Love y'all, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.